Okay, today we're playing X2, or X-Men 2, The Clone Wars. Yes, Lucas totally stole that for the, horrible, Star Wars prequels. But, yeah, it's kind of a weird game because it just immediately throws you into the game. There's like no opening screen. There's nothing. There's nothing. It just throws you immediately into the game. It's easier than X-Men 1 was. I mean, X-Men 1 was a trip, but I'm not gonna go into that game right now because that one will be coming up shortly. But yeah, it throws you right into the game. It gives you a random character to start with. Mine just happened to be Wolverine, which he's when this game came out, he was one of my favorite characters. He really is still one of my favorite characters. But, you know, a lot of people who don't really like Marvel all that much claim he's overrated and shit like that, even though he's been voted like the #1 character in comics like God knows how many times. Defunct Wizard magazine voted him #1 in all of comics, like about a year or two before it went out of business. I used to get that comic magazine all the time. Mostly got to see what my comic books were worth. But yeah, this game has quite a number of characters in it compared to the first one. This one has Beast, Nightcrawler, Psylocke, Cyclops, Gambit, and Wolverine, of course. Then later on, you get to play as Magneto. Now, depending on what character you're using too, it'll also change the music at whatever level you're in, but it'll only change it slightly. Like Wolverine's, it gives kind of a heavy metal kind of guitar sounding thing. The music isn't always the same. But this is the first level. And here's the opening of the game finally. Cerebro. Magneto, Cerebro. Magneto. As a riff track reference. They still do that in some of their things. Magneto, Cerebro. Yeah, this game's basically about the Phalanx. These race of beings that they're trying to techno-organic virus that's trying to take over the world. They assimilate all matter, except they for some reason cannot assimilate mutant DNA. They can assimilate humans, but they can't assimilate mutants. But yeah, they had a whole story arc back in the 90s with the Phalanx and Phalanx, actually. He's pronouncing it wrong. Sounds like phallus, yeah, but Phalanx. It's basically what you're going to be doing a lot of in this level. It's killing this floating flamethrower enemy and dodging electric and yeah, and killing those little floating gunship things. But basically, they all got their basic attack moves, jump moves, and they all got mutant powers. Wolverine just happens to have 2, which is why his melee mutant power thing sucks. Because when you're down to 1 or 2 health bars, he'll actually regenerate fairly decently speed to 1, 2, or 3 health bars, but you can actually, if you wait long enough, will actually go up to a 4th health bar. But between the 3rd and 4th health bar takes a long time. And it's basically a platforming game. These games were really popular back in the 90s. And of course I was a big X-Men fan back in the 90s, so yeah, this game, I remember playing this game a lot, even though I didn't really own it. And as you saw right there, Wolverine can actually climb across walls and ceilings. So can Beast and Nightcrawler. Psylocke can grab a hold of walls and jump off of them. Gambit and Cyclops are pretty much screwed when it comes to getting into secret places. Nightcrawler can also double jump. He's probably the most agile of all the characters because he can actually climb a lot faster than Wolverine and Beast can. Wolverine's climbing's the worst. Yeah, this is kind of like a puzzle platforming level. You have to go around and hit all these little boxes to make the electric explode to unlock certain doors to make it farther in the level. The boss is the coolant reactor for this for the warehouse, and of course it has some kind of freaky sentinel head floating in it. And whoever designed, for some reason there's ninjas, I believe they're the Phalanx. Yeah, basically it was this game, Spider-Man Arcade's Revenge. Another thing about this game is you only get 8 lives. That's all you have to make it through the entire game. No continues, nada. No hand-holding whatsoever. As far as I know, there are cheats for the game, but you have to have like the Game Genie and I think Game Action Replay is also out for the Genesis. I really like Wolverine's melee thing because it lunges you forward. You can do it mid-air too. It's good for, you can also turn direction in mid-air with it. Not to mention the fact that he regenerates health. Very, very helpful. I really hate this stupid electricity. I don't know if any subscribers or viewers who watch this have seen it, but there's some startup the indie movie company type people did a thing where it was Wolverine versus Batman. It was a live action. It was actually pretty well done. Other than Batman looked like his suit looked like it was from the 60s show. It was kind of like cheap cloth looking spandex. And then hopefully in the Wolverine movie that starts filming here very soon, Wolverine does not have his headpiece, because man does that thing look goofy in real life. Because they had it in the little video. But needless to say, Wolverine won because the votes went in Wolverine's favor, not in Batman's. So Wolverine ended up stabbing him in the chest. And this level was pretty decently long. I forget how many levels are actually in the game. I think there's 8. Now, one of the big things back then was you actually could play as Magneto. And of course, playing Magneto could actually levitate. He couldn't fly. He could only jump up there and stick there and rain down. He actually has the coolest mutant powers. He also has the most. He doesn't have any melee attacks. He just shoots these lightning bolts. And here we go. Here's the boss. As you can tell, I prefer using Wolverine, even though it probably would have been easier to use Cyclops or Gambit for this boss. But yeah, this game's decently easy depending on what character you're using for what bosses. Like, I can believe you can beat Apocalypse, who appears later on. You can actually beat him without even getting hit using, like, Magneto. Yeah. This didn't record very well. It hit that freaky head there. I guess I didn't set the refresh rate high enough to record it. Basically, you have to destroy all those little shielding panels. Pretty easy for a first boss. It's not the boss you really have to worry about. It's what comes after the boss. You have to make it, it's a timed event, which I hate doing timed shit. But yeah, you have to run out of the warehouse in about, I think it's 180 seconds. What? Nope, it's 140. Plus you have to dodge all these little explosions. But overall, I really like the game, and I'm going to try like hell to beat it. I mean, games back then were not the hand-holding casual fest that games are now. If you beat a game, you accomplished something. I mean, I actually get lost here. I believe I only make it out in like, with only like 14 seconds to spare and like 1 health bar. I was streaming this on a live stream, and this is how I recorded it, which is why the resolution's like really crappy, because I had my Genesis hooked up to my computer, and I was recording it with live stream because I couldn't get anything else to record it. But yeah, you have to run like a son of a bitch. But yeah, I'm gonna try to beat it. I'm a little out of practice on the platformers, so I may have to get a walkthrough to remember just what characters you use for what level. But yeah, games back then, they weren't very long, but they would keep you busy a hell of a lot longer than games today would, because it was so friggin' hard. I mean, Mega Man alone was enough to pull your hair out as a kid. Almost died right there, and there. Fortunately, Wolverine regenerates decently fast. At this point, I didn't think I was going to make it. And there it is right there. Well, we're back to Cerebro. But, thanks for watching. I'm going to try to be doing, a history of video games kind of documentary thing coming up, using probably nothing but game footage. So, watch for that if, you get this. Thank you for watching.